Good evening, everyone.
Oh, hey Ash, how you going?
Yeah, good. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Oh, we got Tash on. Yeah. So just wait for Cory to jump on, and then we shall get things started. So you still good for Sunday, Ash?
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
So you're going to bring your lizard men this time, or still haven't
Yeah.
finished?
Still haven't finished them. Like I said, it's a slow process. So, because I want to make sure it's all done right. So I'm thinking of playing the humans this time.
Okay, yep. A little bit more.
See how they.
Yeah, a little bit more versatility.
Yeah. Basically, the plan to see how well they do.
Yeah, I still haven't painted those custom Forge World undead models I got. So have they released any like rules updates for the new kill team?
No.
Or is it just like fluff and advertising?
No, the whole thing's being rebuilt from the ground up. So the rules and stuff like that, it's all been redone.
I know that's why I asked if they leaked anything about.
Oh, leaked anything? No, not that I've seen. Nothing, unfortunately. I haven't really. They've actually been keeping it really on the down low in terms of like what you can do and all that. They might start releasing some stuff as it gets closer, just to give people a bit of an inkling of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But
it sounds interesting though, being built from totally rebuilt from the ground up. It sounds like it's really interesting.
Because one they've updated it to incorporate all the different factions in the game now, and I think because the direction they're taking 40k in is going to be a little bit different, so they want to try and kind of have kill team match it. Well, that's my theory anyway, but I mean, who knows?
Well, they'll probably end up making kill teams simpler or easier if they're going, because the rest of the franchise is going in that direction.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
It would still be interesting. Sort of looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, hopefully this Sunday on Blood Bowl you have better luck with your armor rolls.
One can only hope.
I still can't believe that. I still can't believe that little ghoul of mine took out one of your big orcs. I can't believe that.
It's just the luck of the dice rolls in the end.
Wait, am I audible?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh. Sorry, I didn't mean to be... Well, I kind of did mean to be so late. I saw that Ash said he would be 10 minutes late, so I was like, oh yeah, I'll have time.
And then I was 5 minutes late. Yeah, typical Ash.
That's as long as everyone's on now, so that's cool.
I was overcompensating just in case.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Alright, well, seeing as everyone is now jumped on. Now, because even though Brad's on the Roll20 thing, he's technically not there.
I assumed as much.
Yeah, so yeah. So it's just the three of you poor victims. Well,
the amigos.
The three amigos. All right, so now that everyone's here, just quickly. All right, so continuing off from where we finished off last week, the party had just completed or defeated a whole horde of zombies that had emerged from the various graves located just outside what looks to be a makeshift chapel. They arose, as it were, after old Sharkbite came across an altar, had a hand impression in it, and decides to put his hand in to see what would happen, and that inadvertently caused all the undead to come out of their graves.
Who could have known?
He could have known. After a short battle, the undead were dispatched, and now you are left standing, surrounded by the corpses. You do notice, however, that one of the zombies, this one here, that came out of this grave up here, you did notice that it looked to be bound, like its wrists and legs looked to have like makeshift like rope or string tied around it in a manner that it looks like that maybe this individual had been tied up at some point before they died, whereas the others, no such bindings were seen. So you're not sure of whether this could be any indicate, like there might be a reason behind it. Could be he was a prisoner, or who knows. Just for the sake of argument, I will get all of yous. I'll even do one for Percy and Rezhan, just to make a history roll.
Oh boy.
Yeah, just
Viet's favourite subject. Viet's favourite topic.
well, that's only Viet.
This is the problem. I turned up all the volumes and adjusted them, but I had to turn up my system volume for Ash, and then now you can probably hear the fucking Roll20 noise, through my thing.
Oh, that's all right.
I turn that down? Oh, no, I can. Master music volume. There we go. Never mind.
If I'm too low, I'll turn my sensitivity up on the mic.
That's all good. Well, I mean,
Well,
I can hear fine. Yeah.
I can hear you. It's just I have to adjust all the levels so that everybody's lower, and then I turn the whole volume up.
All right,
Yeah, that's all right.
I'll adjust mine now. Sorry.
That's all right. I mean, so Sharkbite, you going to try and do a history roll?
Loud and proud.
Whoa! All right.
Boom.
Sound is now functioning.
Turn down the decibels.
Yeah, sorry.
That's right.
The history.
All right. So after the fight concluded, and you're like looking over the undead and all that, you count the number of bodies you got there, and it triggers a memory of something that was read in the captain's log on page 25.
Yes, page 25. I remember it.
You remember it like it was last week. If I can find it, I'll be able to help you recap on that sort of thing.
I'm reading it now.
Yeah.
I've got some names crossed off down the bottom.
Mm-hmm. They appear to be members of the crew that survived the initial shipwreck and who have died over the period of days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay.
I mean, I already assumed that this would be one of the crews.
Yeah.
that come here washed ashore, so it's probably theirs.
So looking at the page, you discover that one of the that in the entry it mentions that the corpse of one of the crew members who was a mutineer, Martin Stoneblade, and that he was found feasting on the remains of one of the crew. It looks like it stumbled into the camp and killed the crew member whose name was Agatha before she could react. So it would seem that that's why this zombie up here was bound. And let's see. And also included in that, you also remember the story that that Captain Mitchell, during his attempts to be rid of his first mate, Lavina Wisp, when she was like the spirit, he was collecting a series of items, and he thought he collected them all, but then he realized he'd forgotten one important feature of one important item, and that was the arm of Mutineer. So, yeah. So with that in mind, it stands to reason that maybe this particular zombie, something about it is like important.
It's the fact that he fucking mutinied his crew, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
So Viet will walk over to Sharkbite and say, "You seem to be paying attention to that one. What's special about it?"
Well, I think I moved back over to the
the altar.
Yeah.
So I'll say at present, you're just trying to
just say Viet walked over to him and then just said, "What's so special about that?"
Well, it's clearly linked to the curse. Really don't know. I think I would assume that there's something to do with destroying the curse, that you have to destroy the rest of what remains of what is tied to the curse. So I would suggest that we probably burn all of these corpses, so there's nothing remaining of them. So Sharkbite would look back and you'd say, the curse be pervade from that of the dead. If we rid ourselves of the dead, then we rid ourselves of part of the curse.
Then Viet will nod his head and say, "So should we burn them?"
I think it high time we set them to the flame.
Fair enough, Viet says, and he nods and walks up to go about burning he goes about setting up a fire to burn them all. Because he doesn't know what abilities any of the other characters have, so he would just think, yeah, well, it's time to go and light a big fire, or light them on fire.
All right. So you just burn them where they lay, or do you put them in like a pile or something like that? You know.
Yeah, Viet would most likely put them in a big pile, then light them on fire.
All right.
Jones would probably mention to keep the one that isn't part of the crew anymore in its own little burning pile as a sign of respect, or rather disrespect that the crew have obviously originally showed, keeping him separate, because the mutineer doesn't deserve to be burned with the rest of them.
All right.
Part of the crew.
Oh yeah, sure. Viet
Cool.
nods and agrees and goes off and separates the mutineer from the rest of the group
All right.
and lights it up.
Before
Yes.
the mutineer is burned, can I just quickly have a look
Kick
at
him.
it? Yeah.
Yep. So you go over to look at the corpse of this mutineer. So I'll say while you're doing that, Viet and Percy, but maybe Red Sand begin piling the bodies. I'll just move these over here. Just to, And so while they're doing that, you go over and look at the mutineer's body. Let's see. Make a perception roll. Or investigation, whichever is easier, which is better.
No, too late.
Do an investigation anyway, because I was a bit slow on that.
Even better.
Even better. Okay. All right. So I will say this: that there's not much of the body that really stands out. The only thing that you do notice is that on one of the arms, you notice that the hand appears to have like rough sort of markings on it, and a fine like powder substance
On the hand.
Yeah, on one of the mutineer's hands.
Okay. Does it look like ash, or what does it look like?
It just the powder, the powder. It's a light grey nature. It kind of looks like grounded down stone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And the marks are just like random
They're
marks, or?
They're distinctive. They're like grooves in a sense. What's the best way to describe it? As if someone or something has made run something down the length of the hand.
Okay.
Oops.
Interesting.
The best way to describe it is it looks like as if at some point his hand's been placed on something for a long period of time, and because it's decayed skin, it's actually formed almost like a mold in the actual hand itself.
Okay.
If you want, you can try and make it straight up intelligence.
Yeah.
Well, I know exactly what's up, but I don't think my character would know.
Yeah, because you're not there. You're currently still with the. All right.
The eyes of a fish, the brain of a fish.
Hey, it's not that bad. It's a bit better.
You do know that there could be meaning behind what's going on with this individual's hand. You just can't place as to what it might be.
Okay.
Yeah, there is some importance with the markings on this mutineer's hand.
I'll probably, since I can't figure it out, I'll probably go over to the others.
Yep.
And I'm just going to tell you guys about. Well, I'm just going to ask you guys to come take a look at this corpse. I think there's something going on with it. It's got strange markings on its arm.
Yep.
Well, I'll
Viet will say, "Oh, what does it have a rash?"
I think there's a bit more of like an indentation on its skin than a rash.
Okay.
I
I have Viet. Then Viet says, "I have no idea. Not the faintest."
I'll say what the markings be on its skin. Do they look like the writing on this here box?
What's the writing on the books?
Well, it's not so much writing on the box.
Oh,
it's more it's flowers, drawings of flowers. Make it just to make a perception check, because you look now. He's indicated to the altar. Make a perception. See if you spot anything of interest. Oh, okay, sweet. So as soon as he points over to the flowers and all that, you're kind of looking at the details around the altar. But then when you look up and see the actual indentation of the hand, you notice that inside the actual impression, you can see similar kind of markings running down the length of the hand. Almost similar, if not exact, to the hand on the mutiny's body.
Okay.
I say,
think-
I'd be trying to figure out what the method is behind the madness, but I don't know what might be contained in this box, for it be locked with magics.
I think the body is the key to whatever activates this box.
I'm gonna roll my own roll.
Sure.
Boy, don't trust me. Yeah, that's what you get.
No, not that. Jones has accrued a lot of knowledge, but his intelligence in of itself is not very high. So
curse to yourself.
Looking at that, he'll say, well, if you think he has anything of significance on him, like a key, it'd be much appreciated if you could obtain it for me.
I think he's the key.
Well, I rolled a 3.
Sharkbite's having a bit of trouble understanding.
What do you mean by he is the key?
Okay, just is this body gonna be heavy to lift if I move it, or how much?
Make it intelligence.
Okay. My mind is being tested today.
No attack rolls tonight. Only
it is going to be a little bit heavy to move. You might need someone's help to move it for you.
Okay.
Along with you.
where all the brains trust here.
Viet, would you be able to bring that one corpse over here?
Certainly. And then Viet will march over and pick up the corpse and drag it over to the podium, or where the rest of the group is.
Yeah, so you're just lumping this rotting carcass over your shoulder, and you bring it over to the altar with Elryn and Sharkbite. And by this point, Sharkbite, Elryn points out to you his right hand. You do see the strange striations running up and down the length of his hand. And they do, in fact, match the indentations within the actual hand impression on the stone.
He'll take a look at that and then take a look back at the things. I see what you mean with the hand. He'd definitely be more than entwined with the being of this box. Perhaps the man made it himself. I think it's his hand that will be the one to open it, be he dead or not. He'll look at Viet and he'll say, if you would be so kind to remove the key from the man, and he'll point to his hand.
Yep, so Viet will just pick up the corpse, hold its hand out, and put its hand over the thingo.
Yep.
Where it's meant to be.
So you put the hand over the altar, or
in the indentation where because Viet would assume that's where he wants the. It's a hand shaped hole, so Viet will do that.
Okay, so as you lift him over and place the hand there, you hear a popping noise coming from the actual body, and as you're positioning it, you actually notice that body's starting to slip, but the arm's actually staying there, and after a couple of seconds, the actual arm separates from the body, just as you place the hand onto the altar. So yeah, so the body's kind of starting to fall backwards, but the hand is now actually on the impression. And after a few seconds, you hear this grumbling noise coming from the actual altar itself. And then you see the whole lid just kind of pop up. Not all the way, just like kind of as if it's like something's been unsealed. Just a...
Does it let out any dust or anything?
Yeah, it's like it's because it was sealed before. Now that air's gotten in, it's kind of like a backdraft sort of thing. It's just like... But it's more like stone dust than anything else.
I'll say, careful what you look. Careful when you look into the box, for as you've seen, these treasures and things left untouched, nay, like to be disturbed.
I mean, you'll still need to actually remove the lid. Because
I'm
it's only popped
prefacing me opening the box, so nobody gets themselves in trouble like we've already done.
I'll need you, if you're going to plan on opening it, you need to do an athletics. Because it is still a stone lid, so it is still a bit heavy.
Well, if that's the case...
but if someone's going to help you, you can do that with advantage.
Yeah, Viet would offer to help. Viet would probably see old Sharkbite struggling, trying to lift the big old stone slate off, so he would come in and help too.
I mean, if we think that there's a chance that it still might not be liftable, even with all of us trying, then I'd probably go get like a stick or something, more of a log or something that we could try and use to leverage it. Because you did say that there was a lip or something.
Yeah, but since you've placed the corpse's hand on top of the impression, the actual lip, it's like, yeah, it's actually, you can actually see like when the lid's popped up a bit, you can actually see a gap from the actual altar itself to the lid. So you can actually get a better handhold onto it to kind of lift it up now. It's whatever looked like it was holding it down has been released, but the actual lid hasn't completely come off. So you still need to use a bit of elbow grease to actually lift it up.
Well, I mean, if we need extra leverage, then we can go do that.
Yeah.
Just may as well try.
Alright, cool. So who's going to do the lifting and who's going to do the helping?
Well, I think if we're doing it like that, then Viet should definitely make the roll, and we can all help him.
Alright, cool.
Yeah.
So Viet, I need you to do athletics, and you do it with advantage. Alright, cool. So
Super flex.
you get around you get in front of the altar, and you basically get your hand underneath the lid of the lip of the actual lid, and you pretty much are able to lift it yourself, but the others do give you a hand in lifting it the rest of the way, and you're able to push it up and back over off the actual altar. So the lid kind of lifts up and falls back here. So you're lifting and pushing it away from you guys. And you just hear like a and a smash as the actual the lid kind of breaks in half, and you see the arm just kind of flop to the side. And as you look inside, you see what appears to be a pile of dead insects, like cockroaches, scorpions, centipedes, and all that. They're all just like, husks of their former selves. But hidden amongst the remains of these insects, you spot Us.
Ooh.
That was mentioned somewhere.
Yeah, it was, from your recollection, it was mentioned in one of the pages of the Captain's Journal. Oh, and
He was
before
looking for a flower. I think that was one of the most recent ones.
and just also too, this is the
Nice.
so yeah. So that's what's inside the altar, and yeah,
It's a wondrous item. Uncommon.
yes.
If I inspect the item, am I able to figure out kind of what it is?
I'll get you. You can.
I do have proficiency in Arcana.
Yeah, do an Arcana check. Okay. You discover that the item in question is very rare, and you do get a sense that there's something considerably powerful about it. Like you have in your journeys, you have come across unique items that possess incredible magic potential. And one thing you also notice about it, it's the way it's carved and all that. It could also be seen as like a wand of some kind.
I'll pull out my talisman, which is an assortment of like beads and like wooden charms and stuff, all tied into like a bit of a string, and compare it, and then I'll look back and say, I believe this be someone's tool for channeling powers beyond their own.
Yes. So definitely of something important.
Wait, what kind of power?
I'm sure it would be related to some of the things we've seen on this isle.
Should we destroy it?
Good question. Let me look for the pages. It's like it's like one of those choose your own adventure books, but the ones that like have items and stuff as well. You know, it's kind of annoying that it's not like a PDF with like actual words in it, because then you could like do the word search.
Yeah. Just trying to find it for you so I can. No.
You can still do a word search, but you'd have to do each page.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like
I
on
opened in
Google.
Roll20.
Oh yeah. Hold on. Wait, would
Yeah.
it work? Oh no, because it's a picture.
Yeah. So I won't recognise the actual words in the
Also,
picture,
it's
unfortunately.
in fucking cursive.
Yeah, so. Oh, no, not that one.
See, this is where we need Brad.
Oh, yeah.
Because he actually read it all.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? Well, I will say this: it is the item that you just discovered. It is definitely mentioned within the contents of the Captain's Journal.
He said he was looking for like a flower of some kind.
Yeah. from vague memory, you recall that it was an item that was discovered during their journeys to Dead Man Isle. It was one of the treasures that was actually recovered. Yeah, let's see.
Oh, okay. I'm starting to piece some things together.
Are you now?
Hey, what is it called? Sapphire wand?
Cold Sapphire one. Where'd you see that?
Sapphire Rose.
Yeah.
I'm looking at cargo from Voyage.
That might be the thing, one of the items that they recovered. Cargo register, not that.
Well, after reviewing that some of these things came from that other island, this starts to feel like a lot like something Jones has experienced himself in the past. And he says, I'm starting to think the curse may not be tied to this item, to this island, but rather to the things they brought with them from the last. The curse not be originating here, but it come from the isle known for its curses.
So we should destroy it.
Perhaps. Though I feel we should probably find whatever other pieces there are that belong to this treasure hoard.
Probably a good idea, says Viet.
Yeah. So
If I try and channel magic through this thing, does anything special happen?
how do you mean you channel your magic?
I'll cast a cantrip through it.
Okay. What specific cantrip?
I'll pull it out and then I'll whisper some words and try and make the breeze fall still for a second using thaumaturgy.
Okay, go for it. So you hold on to the wand itself and you begin to focus on it to see if you can get channel your magic through it to do what you wish, and you pay close attention to the item in your hands, and you begin to cast the spell thaumaturgy. And what is it specifically from thaumaturgy did you wish to try and do? Just to stop the wind?
Yeah, make it quiet for a second.
The spell works. Everything just quiets down. The local jungle noise just seems to go absolutely dead quiet. But it doesn't seem to be like, it doesn't seem to, when doing it, it doesn't feel like it's coming from the wand. It's just like you've just cast it. And it's just casting in a general area that you've been focusing on, but not actually coming from the wand itself. The wand doesn't react in any sort of way.
Alright, well this isn't a useful piece of information by itself, I don't think. We've probably got to ascertain what else the curse is tied to first.
And while this is all going on, the corpses that you piled up outside are on fire and they're burning and all that. And while that's going on, Red Sand and Percy have begun going through what's left of the grave sites to see if there's anything of interest. And they do actually happen to come across some items. In one grave, they find what appears to be a red kind of vial with a vial with a red liquid in it, and you recognise it as being a potion of healing.
Health juice.
And then a couple of grave sites over, you find a small scroll case, or Red Sand finds a scroll case, and when she pops it open, there is in fact a scroll inside. And when she pulls it out, it's got intricate Yeah, you just destroy the entire world. It's got like scribblings and all that on it. And
I
then
can read that.
yeah.
I cast the spell though. Oh, hang on.
Uh,
Wait a second. I did cast that to try and read something at some point, but when did I use that?
I believe it was the one to comprehend languages or something like that.
Yeah,
Uh,
but I
and
can't remember what I used it on because it last.
you used it on the sword. You used it on the cutlass to see what the writing on the cutlass said.
Yeah, that's probably too long ago then.
Yeah, it was a couple hours ago. And the last thing that Red Sand actually comes across is a small-looking wooden chest, and but it's locked. So you can either try and force it open, or pick the actual lock. So yeah. So apart from that, there's nothing else of real importance located here. But it seems like the wand was the key prize here.
Well, Jones was originally a treasure seeker.
Yeah.
So he's very interested in finding these things, both because of their perhaps importance to the curse and safely leaving this island, but also just because rare treasures are intriguing to him. So he'll definitely be inclined to get maybe Viet to help with the lock on the box. Suggesting maybe use something to try and pry the old lock off.
And Viet will look back at Sharkbite and ask what object do you suggest I use for that.
Does anybody have a solid knife or something that's short and sharp?
Well, yeah.
I can grow claws. Does that help?
Viet says that maybe what about the bunt of his pike? He also says that he's got throwing spears or javelins.
Yeah, that could work. I mean, the more leverage you have, the better, as long as you're not worried about potentially breaking it.
Maybe. No, he's got 2 spears as well. So, yeah, Viet will offer to use maybe spears to try and crack open the lock or try and jimmy it.
Alright, so roll a. Let's see. I guess. Roll a sleight of hand check.
No.
No, you just. Yeah. You just can't. You're just having a hard time trying to get it in somewhere to actually create a bit of leverage. It's like the line around the exterior of the chest is like almost seamless, and you're just having a hard time finding purchase to actually get your javelin in there to kind of pop it open.
Viet just looks around, shakes his head, and says, "Sorry."
I don't really have anything to open chests. I do have a knife, but it's not one that Jones would offer up to destroy potentially.
I mean, it's not one of those chests that you need to be an expert thief to actually open up. I mean, you can reasonably use just brute force to pull it open if you need to.
Yeah, but you don't want to smash a chest without knowing what's inside it.
Well, yeah, true. I'll tell you what. Just make an athletics and see how you go. Or like Viet or Sharkbite or Elryn.
I mean, that was the intent. You get something sharp and put it behind the plate, like the base plate of where the lock actually, goes into. You're not trying to break the lock. You're trying to break the piece that holds the lock.
Alright. Well, either way, Viet was unsuccessful. He just can't get a good grip on the actual chest to kind of rip it open, to even lift the lid open. So yes, at the moment it is a hidden treasure within a treasure box.
Anybody have any kinds of tools?
No.
I don't know what. Redstone has.
Redstone hasn't got anything of real.
Pitons.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah, pitons.
Oh.
Um,
Well, that's literally the ideal kind of a device, because that's something that you would hammer into something and split it apart.
all right, so we'll say for this,
That
so
plus
simple.
big wood.
Oh, well, not having much luck with that. And out of frustration, she then tries, just grabs the chest and gets a natural 20. So out of frustration, being its back, she kind of pulls out some of her claws and she just digs into the wood, but it's in the right position, and she just manages to kind of just pull the lid off, like not completely off, just breaks it from what was holding down and manages to open the whole thing up. And immediately you see what appears to be 2 more of those potions of healing, a whole bunch of gold and silver coins, and another rolled up scroll.
I'll cast. We're not in any immediate danger. I will cast comprehend languages. So I'll do the same thing as I did last time, and sort of sprinkle a bit of ash over the words, and then mutter some incantations in what almost sounds like the reverse of a language, and run my hands over the scrolls and rearrange the words into something understandable to me.
All right, so just want to make sure that.
Spiel.
So from it, the only thing you do derive from both scrolls is the name of the written atop of each one. The one that was found in the chest, it just says fireball, and the scroll that was found in the case, it says lesser restoration. But the actual writing beneath that is still kind of, it's having a hard time trying to decode it.
Okay.
So from that, you kind of theorize these are magic scrolls.
Well, I mean, I feel like that would have been, pretty straightforward. But
actually, yeah, it doesn't actually specifically say. Let's see. I understand a little meaning of any spoken language that you hear. He also said, it just says written language. It doesn't specify that you can't. All right, so yeah, so the writing on both scrolls actually becomes legible to you.
it won't show arcane symbols and stuff that I don't understand.
So yeah, it does reveal that
the writing
yeah.
of anything will become apparent.
Yeah, I just had to have a second look at it. Yeah, both scrolls reveal to you that one's a scroll for lesser restoration and the other one's a scroll for fireball.
And also I should be able to figure them out myself if they're on my spell list, but I fucking need to actually get a hold of my spell list.
Alright. So, after all that, you see there doesn't appear to be of anything like any other interests. You've thoroughly explored the surrounding area, the remaining grave sites, the rest of the chapel, even the jungle area around the chapel and all that. looks like this is all that's left. Yeah. So at this point, what do you wish to do?
Well, we have all those other places marked. Was there anything else referenced that we needed to
Well,
look at?
Well, at the moment, there are plenty of other places mentioned in the captain's journal, and they are marked out in the player's map. You've only been to one. Oh, you've been to two. You've been to the center camp, and you've been to the. I should put this on the player map. Yeah, and then the one just, I'd say, southwest. It was a short journey from the center of the camp to southwest to where this area is. But there's another one directly to the west, and then one to the northwest, and then one to the north, northeast, east, southeast. So if you look at the player map as a compass sort of thing, like a side-on compass, yeah, you've got another location to check out. I'd say west of where you currently are. But this was the place that was kind of discovered by Salty, so that's why you've come here. And we'll say by this point, from the time taking the walk here, and then your combat and exploration, it's getting to be afternoon, closer to late early evening.
Well, we can probably explore one more place and then go back to the camp and stuff, because that's pretty central. Do we just go to the next place?
Yes. Which one was that?
Go look at the map.
So, like I said, the place you're currently at, if you look at the map, sort of as a compass, the center, the one you're at now, is sort of like the shortest distance from the center camp. That's northwest. Oh, southwest, sorry. So you got the one next to that is west.
Yeah, that would be the closest.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we can head northwest to the coastal area then.
So you're going to head northwest. So
get some swimming action.
So west, because if you look, damn, I wish I put this on the. So let's see, northwest, west.
What's northwest from where we are?
Ah, yes, correct. All right, so you decide to head northwest and begin exploring another area.
Can I take us directly there, or do we have to go back to the camp?
Well, it's up to you. I mean, if you decide not to go back to the camp, you just make your way there now. Entirely up to you.
I think we're all pretty alright for health, aren't we?
Percy probably looks like the worst off. Elryn doesn't look too bad. Sharkbite's pretty much fine because he's got 10 hit points and he's taken damage for his 10. Yeah, you have hacks. You're literally every time they take a swing at you, they inadvertently hit one of your peg legs.
Actually, speaking of, now that I realize, I'm going to turn that 7 to an 8 by casting the spell a whole bunch of times.
Okay, no worries. So, after gathering your bearings and all that, looking back at the map that you found in the captain's book, you decide to kind of head northwest, which isn't too far from where you currently are. But it's still a bit of a trek, and it does take you about an hour to get there, because you have to hack your way through the foliage of the jungle, cutting down trees, vines. Sometimes the terrain, you have to go uphill and downhill and all that. But you make a pretty decent stride. And after some, Yes.
Oh, I was just going to say I needed to jump in before it, just in case.
Yeah.
I'll send Salty to fly ahead. Just like keep an eye on us, like from above, but then be able to look ahead of us. And if there's anything that looks like it could be threatening or important, to come down and give some information.
All right. So what I'll get you to do is I'll get you just because it'll take you some time to get there. Make Salty roll 2 perception checks. This is for like over a period of an hour.
Bird bastard.
Hey, you're the one with the salty mangy bed.
Oh no, he's got a good perception.
Oh,
Never
there
mind.
you go. Yep, and one more.
And the second one? There.
Alright, cool. So, as Salty flies above and all that, he doesn't spot any threat or anything that could potentially bring harm to you. In fact, he actually spots what it is that you're headed towards. And he comes back and he's just like, Darby Coast.
Sounds like coast.
Coast the most roast.
That's all good. I just wanted to get in there before we potentially ran into anything that could be dangerous again.
Yeah, that's cool. So at the moment, nothing jumps out as threatening. So by the time you actually get there, the sun is beginning to actually set, and it's actually started to set behind the highest point of the island. So you're now moving into like darkness. So
see if a navigator's tools include a compass.
Oh yeah, that would probably be handy. So you're picking your way through the jungle, and you come across a rocky slope that kind of leads down out of the jungle to what looks to be like a shoreline. You hear the banging of wood upon stone and the calm sound of waves lapping up against the shore. Stepping out of the dense, foreboding canopy, you see a small bay covered in driftwood and shattered crates. Taking the time to observe the bay from the safety of the tree line, you see a number of smaller crates that appear to be intact, bobbing gently atop the crystal water. As you begin making your way towards the sandy shore, your feet begin to slightly sink as they make purchase on the sand. You pull your feet up a little, and you notice it kind of sticks for a second before your feet get pulled up. So this.
You in fact have a compass. Good knowledge. I can't get lost now.
Yeah. Alright, I'll Sharkbite. Old salty bones. So this is what you actually come across. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of wreckage washed up along the shoreline. Various crates actually located within the water itself. And just a large rocky spire, pike, outcrop, something poking out of the water. Don't know what the proper sounding is for it. So you're on the page now, yeah? Sometimes I can't tell.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Are we actually supposed to be seeing a map?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I do not have a map.
Just refresh.
Alright.
Looks like if it was Fallout, there'd be a bunch of Mirelurks and looting too.
Yeah. Is that coming up for you now?
No.
No, why? Alright, hang on.
Just
been removed.
grid. It's black grid.
I mean,
Black grid,
to be
okay.
fair, with your internet, it could just be loading still.
Most
Yeah,
likely.
maybe.
My internet's fine. It's just
Australian fine.
Yeah.
An Australian fine.
Oh wait. I think
Wait.
it's loading.
Because I just refreshed my screen, so maybe that's what's going on.
Okay.
So is it? So let me know once it pops up.
Yeah. It's blurry. It's getting there.
It's like old school internet with dial-up.
Yeah. We're at dial-up stage.
Oh god. Actually, that'd probably be faster.
Maybe I'll try refreshing again. Yeah. Oh wait, no, it loaded. Okay, we're good.
You all good?
Yeah.
Alright, so that's what you see.
I think the first and most prominent thing to do here would be to establish that there aren't any dangers, considering the dangers that we've already confronted.
What dangers?
So probably send Salty out to investigate and be wary, because it seems like there's definitely potential dangerous animals, and then also just unnatural magic that could be messing with us here.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so you send Salty out to the out to the waters.
Yeah, I'll get him to perch up on this thing up here.
Cool.
And just fly around, scan the shoreline, scan the stuff. Because I mean, he's like a sea parrot, so I'm assuming he would spend time. Actually, no. You know what? Not this bird. I was going to say he'd spend time looking around for fish and stuff, but this bird just sits there.
Yeah.
So,
So he hops off Sharkbite's shoulder and flies out to the actual rock and just perches on top of it. And just kind of looks around and, does what a parrot does, picking at his feathers.
just make sure there's nothing like that could be lurking in the water and stuff from above.
I'll get him to do a perception for that very reason.
So I feel like Elryn's going to be very useful for scouring the water, but maybe want to check that there's nothing else in there first.
Good idea.
Keep on forgetting to leave my sheets open.
Yes. While this is going on, 22 perception. So Percy kind of looks around and he kind of flaps his wings, but he just goes, nothing to see here.
Is that Salty or Percy?
That's Salty.
I was just thinking that.
I say, looks like the weather be all clear here.
Right.
And
Alright,
I'll
that sounds good.
step forward and say, I think we best be on the lookout for any more relics that they might have brought from the other island.
Cool. Alright, so yeah, you guys have control of your characters. You feel free to move them wherever you wish.
Just go to the shoreline and well,
Cory, you stop right there.
explode.
Alright.
Curses.
Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see.
You say make a dexterity save. You may as well just.
Okay. Make a dexterity save.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, the classic landmine.
Okay.
Third.
So you begin.
Actually, you know what? It's not balancing, so I can get away with it.
It's not balanced. What's not balancing?
Well, I'm assuming the save isn't, against being pushed over or something.
No. It's as you begin making your way to actually the coast, you start stepping, and then you notice that your feet, your peg legs, start sinking into the actual sand. And it gets harder and harder to pull out, and before you know it, you're actually stuck there.
Ah, classic.
Anyone else want to do anything?
Did it look like he was sinking?
His feet legs have sunk a little.
I
would say
I probably wouldn't even
it
notice
is
until I got up to my knees because I can't feel anything.
Yeah, but you do notice it's harder to move, and you do look down. You do see you have begun to sink into the ground, into the sand.
Do you need help there?
Yeah, I'll stop, and then I'll look around, and I'll be like, I seem to be having trouble moving. If you wouldn't mind.
Cool. I'm going to. Can I use that without attacking you?
I already knew what you were thinking of.
Kind of still whipping with you, like the seaweed whip.
Yeah. Oh, I do have entangle, I guess. Is that? I don't know what would be more effective. Let me have a look.
While this is going on, Ash, what are you doing? Or Viet, what are you doing?
Viet would have seen Sharkbite think he would have heard Sharkbite saying, "Do you mind helping?" So Viet will move over to about there and extend the pike to Sharkbite, but do it with the blunt end.
Okay.
So the pike end's not with him. Then you reach out and say, "Hold on to this, I'll pull you up."
Yep.
While grab hold, I'm probably not very good at moving myself.
But what Viet says all you'd have to do is just hold on to it, and he'll pull you out or attempt to.
All right. Well, Viet, you got to make a dex saving throw.
Oh.
Yep. Sorry, just give me a sec.
Yeah, and make sure you're not on your advantage or disadvantage thing.
So hang on. Oh, I've got danger sense as a barbarian, so I get advantage on dexterity saves against things I can see. So I'd be able to see that the sand is soft and sinking.
Still got to make it though.
Well, advantage is better than no advantage.
True. All right. So as you begin to make your way towards Viet, Sharkbite to actually help him, you do take a step forward, and you do notice that when you put 1 foot forward, I'll just put you here. You do notice your actual foot begins to sink, and you just stop immediately and pull your foot out. And it's actually a bit of a struggle to pull your foot out, but you seem to be on solid ground.
All right, cool. And then Viet will reach out the pike by the blunt end and just tell Sharkbait to grab on and hold on.
All right, cool. So Viet reaches out with his pike. Sharkbite, you grab it. So let's see. It really depends on what's. All right, so I will get. This is going to be a combined roll thing. So I will get Viet to roll in athletics, and I'll get Sharkbite to roll a strength saving throw.
Oh,
My best ability.
Okay.
I'm a withered old man.
All right, so Viet, you struggle to gain solid ground to kind of for your feet because you don't want to slip back into the quicksand. So you're having a little bit of struggle, trying to pull him back. But on the other turn of things, Sharkbite's able to use the pike as kind of to pull himself out, and he uses it to, you manage to pull yourself out of the sand. So, oops, sorry, yeah, I just had to do that just so everyone can see. So, yeah, you manage to pull yourself out of the quicksand, and you find solid sand. So now the threat is now gone.
I think we should be careful from here on in, says Viet. Tread lightly.
Is there a way to test for quicksand?
Yeah, it's like you've got to push. You can push a stick in, and if it actually sinks in, like doesn't suck it in, but you can actually pull it like right into the ground. That's the only like surefire way of doing it. If you tap in the ground and you got solid ground, it's solid. But if you hit quicksand and you can kind of push it in, it's also kind of hard to differentiate because it is dark.
Well, I've been lighting torches, so I may as well do another one.
Yeah. So while this is going on, you failed to notice that Red Sand and Percy are actually making their ways down to the coast, and you suddenly see Percy behind you, kind of step in the sand, and you just hear him cry out in shock. And as you turn around, you see that he's already knee deep in quicksand.
Oh my gosh.
Would he not have noticed us literally scrambling to get out of the sand?
Well, that's the thing. He scrambled because you can't tell where you guys were might have been the only spot. It's hard to differentiate.
I'll yell out to the red sand then whilst that's happening, and I'll say, "Halt your damn legs! There be loose sand about. You don't want to sink."
All right.
And in the meantime, Viet will see that Percy's starting to sing and scream, so he'll reach down and try and grab Percy just with his hand this time.
Yep, sure. So I will get this time. What the hell's going on here? Oh, there we go. I will get Viet just to do an athletics. So you managed to, with quite a bit of ease, you managed to pull Percy out of the sand.
And then Viet will look down at Percy with a stern look on his face and say, "You should be careful. You need to be more careful."
Yeah. That's probably good.
Sorry, Viet's a dwarf, so you'd look at, and she's a halfling, yes.
Yes.
So you look at her at eye level.
So you're like, look.
Careful.
I'll say you're almost at eye level. You're like,
then you'll get
dwarves are more bulkier as opposed to halflings and all that, I guess. Maybe.
Well, then Viet will try and staunch over her and try and like be like all fatherly and authoritative and try and act smarter than he really is and just say, "From now on, you need to be careful."
And then Percy just shakes his head and he's like, yeah, all right, yes, I'll be sure of that. And he starts kind of brushing off the wet sand because he's like, being who he is, he just doesn't like to be caked in anything that potentially covered in dirt, germs. So, at this point, you realise that maybe the direct path to the actual coastline or the shoreline is like really that easy. What are your plans now?
All right, I can think of a few things. One, we can test slowly with, sticks or the blunt sides of weapons and stuff, whether the sand is actually going to pull us in before we step onto the area. Number two is we could try and just literally jump over the gap because it's about 20-25 feet from where we are.
Yeah, so
Although it is jumping from sand, so it might be pretty difficult.
Ooh,
Although if you get close
there's
enough, you'll
something for
probably
this.
be close enough to the water where it won't matter.
yeah. So let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So just from counting from where Sharkbite is, it's about 25 feet to the actual shoreline. Maybe 20 if you don't want to land directly in the water.
The last option is trying to throw Percy across the gap.
You're going to throw Percy. I think, this isn't the time for gnome throwing.
Okay, so what's the plan once one of us gets to the other side?
Well, we're just here to look for items that could be related to the curse or give us information or help us get off the island, I think.
Okay. In that case, Elryn is gonna walk back a bit and I don't know how far I'm gonna go, but attempt to jump. So do a run up and then
Okay.
jump from where I know I'm not going to sink, and I'm going to cast jump.
You're going to cast jump, okay.
Yes.
Oh!
So you've actually got that spell. Okay,
Yes,
cool.
it's actually one of the ones I picked.
Somebody about to go to the Olympics.
The creature jumps is tripled. Okay, this is going to be
I
interesting.
don't know how far that's going to get me,
I'll
but
see you on the next island.
So when you make a long jump, you cover a number of feet up to your strength score if you move at least 10 feet on foot immediately before the jump. When you make a standing long jump, you can leap only half that distance. So when it says strength score, that's not the modifier, that's your straight up strength score, yeah?
Yeah, that's the number.
Yeah. So if you got a shit strength 15, so you can jump 15 feet if you do if you do a running jump, but if you jump just from where you're standing, it's half that,
Okay.
which I think is rounded down.
Yeah, I pictured Elryn doing a run up, and then right from where I know it's safe, jumping from there, and seeing how far I get.
So you're here.
Yep.
So that's 5, 10, and then you jump 15. So you land there.
Well,
Okay.
But triple because you cast 5, 10.
She's got 45.
She's got 45. So shit.
Into the water I go.
That's what I was saying. You're an Olympic diver now.
You're like right.
Nice.
It's that mermaid strength.
So where that arrow next to that arrow there, that's 45 feet.
Okay.
Yeah. So
In I
essentially
go.
you land there. In you
This
go.
is how
So
you get onto ships from the water.
So you run up and you jump, and you just go flying off the sands elegantly. And as you get to the water, you dive straight into the water, almost colliding into bits of debris that's floating in the water. But now you're successfully in the water.
Yay.
Yay.
Nice.
With the others still trapped on the land.
Is it deep? What was it like?
Yeah, it looks like it starts to deepen out. I would say where you are now currently, it's about about 15 feet deep.
Okay.
I'll yell out, if you can search under the water, then that would be much appreciated, for I think the rest of us may find a harder time.
Okay. I'll have a quick look. And I will probably, just go completely under and have a look at what's around.
Yeah, sure, no worries. So you dive under the water, and it is pitch black. Okay, because being nighttime.
I do have dark vision.
I was going to say you have dark vision, so you do kind of begin to see, you can see better than what most can. You do swim directly down, and you do hit, after a couple of strokes and all that. You do hit the bottom, let's see the ocean bottom. But as you begin to swim further out, it does start to kind of slope downwards as to indicate it's starting to get deeper. And as you move further up, you do actually come across more of the rocky point that stuck out. Now you're swimming below it, and you do see that it's actually starting to jut out of the sea floor and proceeds up above the water. So you have to swim around it.
Okay.
But yeah, so just for the purpose of make a. If you just you're just looking around, or are you looking for something specific?
Anything that looks, I guess, anything that shiny or sticks out, shines or anything like that, or like a locked chest. I think I'd be looking. That'd be where my mind is at.
All right, just make it either a perception or investigation,
Okay, I'll probably try perception. Oh my god.
So as you swim around and you do not find anything shiny or anything that could be of value in the water. You do have a thorough search of the entire shoreline, shoreline. You even go out beyond the map, but you just don't find anything. And when you pop your head out, the only thing you do see is the crates and all that you already saw floating in the water when you first arrived on the shoreline. Now, as this is going on, the rest of you guys are still on the sand. Are you planning on going further up into the shoreline, or are you just going to stay there?
Well, as far as I'm aware, I can't, unless.
Well, you had some ideas of how to look for quicksand, and I don't know if you're going to do that or not.
Well, I can go back into the jungle a few steps and then pick up a stick.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'll do that.
Viet, make an intelligence. You there, Ash?
I am, yeah.
You want to do an intelligence for us?
Okay, yep, sorry, because I thought Cory's character was going to go back and get the stick, but
yeah. I just want to see if you tweak. I want to see what your character might do in this situation.
Not much.
So it's enough. I will say you overhear Sharkbite grumbling about finding a stick, and you kind of tweak. Oh well, I've got a couple of spears on me, so they might work.
It's kind of pointy, isn't? Don't we need something that doesn't go in as easy? I don't know.
Well, it's
You're not
pointy
a
on.
quicksand expert.
The spears have got a big wooden blunt end, or the pole arm part of it.
I mean, it's just a thought.
Are they spears or javelins?
They're spears. He's got two. He's got a pike and two. He's got a pike, two spears, and a few javelins.
Oh, okay. You've got all the sticks.
Yeah, he's literally the stick master.
Fucking points galore. All right. Well, a spear will work then, because I was thinking javelins, and the way they used to make javelins were usually pointy on both ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
all
right.
Cool.
Alrighty. So, how do you wish to do this? For the purposes of this, you just indicate where you wish to investigate, and I will let you know if it's safe or not.
We've played Minesweeper. Well, where did I get to before I walked in there?
I will say you got to about here, so I will say for the purposes of this, you realise that where this... No, that didn't come up very well. Can you see that square?
Yes.
Yeah, you can tell that the sand in there is soft. And also, for because Viet, that area is soft.
All right, we'll poke that square.
Yep, that is soft.
I'll make a very roundabout way through these trees and rocks, and then try and pursue this avenue from over here.
Okay, so you're making a direct line from...
No, around where the trees are. Where
Okay.
They have roots in the ground, so I can tell that the sand would be
Ah.
safe to stand on.
So, where are you checking first?
Well, these squares coming in from here.
Okay, so...
So I can see that wood
Soft.
in the sand.
Soft. If I don't mark it off, actually I might try freehand it, not free ball it.
The greatest enemy yet. Sand.
But not just any sand. Quicksand.
So like I said, where I've marked it, that's the indication of where it is. So you started moving, and then you started stepping forward. It was solid, and then it started getting soft.
Time to go further along.
Yeah, you're fine. Where you were doing your thing.
So how about there as well?
No, that's fine.
Wouldn't it be great if you had, like, move earth or something?
Mm-hmm. So, like I said, where I've marked it, the shape is what is the quicksand. No, that's fine. That's fine.
So are we going down to the water?
Let's try to just investigate along the shoreline.
Well, Elryn's already in the water, but that seems to be the only spot that seems to have anything of use, but it's up to you. Yeah, that's fine. Yep, that's good. Yep, that's fine. Okay, so you stab on that. You do find sand. It does sink, but it's not like as like the consistency of the one of like all this stuff here has been like really like you push it in and it's like not even giving any resistance. It's just seeping in. This light here, it's like it is sinking, but it's like you really have to kind of put effort into pushing it, so you feel like it's a bit more sturdier than what you've encountered so far.
All right, so it's just like wet sand, not...
Yeah, it is like sinking, but it's not like if you step in it, you're going to be like half buried by the time you realise what's going on. You reckon it'll be a struggle to move through, but you could potentially walk through it. Sharkbite. Yeah, do you check that one, yeah? Because that's fine.
Yeah, okay.
I'll check the space in front of me.
So that's fine, that's fine, that's fine.
I'll just keep on heading towards the shoreline, if it's possible.
Yeah. So whether that square is, that's indication there's quicksand there, but you can move around it.
So is that implying that it's not up here?
Nope, that's fine.
And what about there?
Yeah, I'll just do Sharkbite and then I'll come back to you. Yeah, you're fine there.
Yep, okay.
And so everything over here seems
Alright.
okay.
So, yeah. So I'm just trying to mark it out for you. Where this is. As you move forward and you begin doing what you've been doing already, you do feel that it is kind of sinking, but it's offering like some resistance. So it's a bit more. It looks like the sand is a bit sturdier. Viet.
Sharkbite isn't content actually going into the ocean, so if that's going to surround the whole thing, I'll probably just back up and let everybody else handle it.
Yep. So I will say for the purposes of this, if you begin exploring along the coastline, you do find there is one spot that is safe.
Okay, yep.
That red square is like solid. So, sorry, hang on. This one too. So as you begin to investigate and all that, you realize this and this is like solid, and that's like directly to the coast. But sorry. Actually, what am I doing? Did that pop up?
No, I've got nothing.
Bugger. Alright. Let me just. Alright. So, all along the coastline, apart from this one spot here, is giving you quicksand, like a quicksand. So, Elryn, what do you wish to do?
Yeah. Can I go up onto that rock in the middle and just quickly have a look if anything's there?
Yeah, sure. So you swim up to the rock, and you see this mangy bird sitting on top, kind of picking at what's left of its feathers. Make a perception or investigation again, whichever is easier for you, whichever's better for you.
He just
I'll
flew in
try
and attacked you.
investigation this time. Ah.
Yeah, you don't find anything of like use.
Cool.
Some weak rolls tonight.
Very weak rolls.
Alright, yeah, I don't know. I guess I will maybe make my way. I don't know. I feel like I'm left empty-handed.
Well, it's not that you've left empty-handed. Like I have said that there's a few crates in that bobbing in the water, and they're like they look to be intact. But
I'll have a look at some of the crates then.
Open everything that you can. Basically.
Well, actually, no. Instead of looking at each one, I'll try and get them onto the shore.
All right.
As many as I can. Yeah.
Let's see. All right. So as you investigate all the debris, like the crates and all that are in the that are floating in the water, you only find 3 that are intact.
Okay.
And so they're. So you grab the closest one from where you are, which I would say is. So let me just. to make it easy. There's one here, one there, there. So those are the 3 crates that you discover. There's one right next to you. So you grab that and you begin making your way to the coast.
Yeah.
Alright, so
I'll go. Well, no one's really telling me where to go, so I'll probably move in a straight line, I guess. With box number 1.
alright. Oops. So as you begin making your way to the actual to the shoreline, you catch a glimmer of something in the corner of your eye.
Oh.
And as you look over, it's more you capture something below you. And as you look down, you see, because you're used to looking through the water and stuff like that, you do see about 8 sand mounds under the water as you get closer to the coast, and you begin to see them sort of moving.
Classic.
It is classic. And just as you get to the coastline with the first crate.
That was not the type of shiny I wanted.
Shiny. And then as you look over, you see
okay. So
like these, like,
oh, there's a few of them. Okay.
like
You've got crabs.
a number of crabs beginning to kind of swim along the water towards you.
Oh.
Death by crab.
Yeah, so they kind of slip out of the water, out of the sand, and swim up towards you and give chase.
Oh.
And you just make it to the shoreline as they get close to you. So I will say, oops, hang on. I will get you to do an initiative roll, Elryn.
Okie dokes. Have I clicked on my character? I think so.
So it's just for Elryn, not that's doing the initiative. The rest of you guys aren't aware of what's actually transpiring just yet.
Oh, okay, yep, discard that.
So, Elryn,
Yeah.
you are now being pursued by a number of giant crabs that are now swimming towards you. What do you do?
I would probably attack and flee. So we attack first. We're going to
Ratch and run.
pull out a good reed whip. I'm gonna try and hit the one. Hold on. This one here.
That one there?
Yeah.
Sure.
Does it hit?
It does hit.
Yes. 2 damage. And then flee. So, about here.
Alrighty. So I just gotta remove these things. Alright, so as you run up, begin making your way up to the actual coast, the crabs begin making their way to the actual shoreline. Actually, how far can they move? Alright, so now, Viet, Threadsound, and Percy. You see Elryn run up onto the shore. And directly behind her, you see a number of giant crabs, swimming along the water, and then they start actually hitting the coastline. I will now get you guys to actually do initiative. Sharkbite, you're at the other end. You're at a totally opposite end of the beach, so you just see from distance. You see Elryn run up the water, onto the actual shoreline, and you see like these weird looking things, like you recognize them as like crabs running up behind her.
Yes. Everything on this island is cursed.
Yeah.
Cursed crabs, cursed spiders, cursed curses.
Cursed curses. Well, there you go. Cursed curses. I'll get you to do an initiative too. Oh, there you go. You already did. So never mind. All good.
Oh, I assumed I was going to.
Yeah.
Part of that.
So now this is the start of a new initiative. Percy sees these crabs running up towards the beach, and he's a bit put off by the sight of these things, but it's not entirely. Doesn't look too threatening, but also on the grand scheme of things, he is hurting from previous combat. He hasn't actually had time to heal up yet, so he's just gonna move here. Not gonna attack. He's just gonna raise his shield and prepare for the crabby onslaught. Elryn, your go.
Can you talk to these things?
Me?
Yeah.
I think I can communicate like basic ideas.
Like, get the fuck away from me.
It's like,
Yeah. Can I do that? Do they count as an aquatic beast?
that's a good question. Let's see. Well, they are a beast and they do swim water, so.
I'll put up the thing. This is my. How do I? Can I put it? I don't know. There we go.
Oh, but you won't know how they respond to you.
You can communicate simple ideas with beasts that can breathe water. They can understand the meaning of your words, though you have no special ability to understand them. Do an animal handling, and do it with advantage.
Okay.
Start singing Under the Sea, and then they'll all chime in.
Under the sea. Oh. Okay, so
Powerful.
you start putting across. What's your intention? That for them just to go away, or
To F off.
all right. So you basically, you let them know that they're not wanted, that they need to leave.
Yeah.
And you do get a reaction from some of them. That goes. 4 of them actually do turn and swim back out to the water and disappear out of sight.
Nice.
The other 4 aren't really.
They want to challenge me.
Yeah, they're not leaving. They're staying behind.
Alright. I see how it is.
Call them lobsters.
Lobsters.
Well,
then you just bring on the whole horde. You literally bring on Aquaman and his entire sea creature army. So that was your action. You still can move.
I will move. I'll just move back. I don't know what these boxes are, but And again,
They're the spots that Viet and Sharkbite were testing out for quicksand. So they're marked as where they found quicksand.
I wouldn't know that, would I? Technically, I'm trying not to metagame here.
No, because you were in the water when they were doing it, so you weren't.
Yeah.
You don't even know. You know there is quicksand because of what happened to Sharkbite, but you just don't know where specifically it is.
Yeah, true. I was standing around here.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
I will say for the purpose of this, you know it's like roughly around here.
Okay, then I'll just go here then.
Yep, and then you make a dexterity save.
Oh, okay, cool.
And as you begin running further and further and further away from these creatures, you start to realize that you begin sinking into the sand and you get stuck.
Oh.
Under the sand.
So
Under the sand.
under the sand. So for the purposes of this, you now know there's quicksand there.
Oh.
Process of elimination. Yeah, process of elimination. But you are now, in a sense, stuck. You cannot move for now. Yet, you start seeing a whole bunch of crabs coming up onto the shoreline. The Elryn manages to somehow use her abilities to have 4 of them just turn around and go back into the water, but there's still another 4 there.
Yep, alright, cool. So Viet will hold his action.
Yep.
Until a crab comes within his attack range. And once a crab enters his attack range with a pike, he'll attack.
Well, what's your attack range for a pike?
It's 10, but if I move, I'm still not sure whether these two are quicksand or not.
Yeah, because you're already within 10 feet of one of the crabs already.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't. Oh yeah.
So you can
That's right. Sorry, because I was going. I was looking at that. Sorry.
That's all right.
I will try and stab a crab with a pike.
Stabby.
Or I should say Viet will. Yeah.
4. This crazy might kill one in one go. Cool. So you just 8 plus 4 is.
You've been stabbing crabs your whole life.
We're eating crabs tonight, boys.
So you do literally strike this crab right in the middle of its shell, and it goes through it, and you just see its claws go up, and you just see it shaking, and one of the claws drop, but it's still got the other claw up, and it's clicking the claw really fast. And it doesn't look like it's actually died completely. You almost took it out. It's severely blood. You can just see all the blood pooling out from the wound that you inflicted on it, and it's still kind of clicking this one claw, and it's sort of reaching towards you as if it's in the last desperate act of defiance.
All right, and that'll be it for Viet. That's all he's going to do.
All right, so Red Sand is going to now pull out a bow. An arrow, and take a shot at the same crab that you just had previously almost killed.
Yep.
Oh. And just
We're natural enemies to crabs.
Yeah, it literally hits the same. She literally hits the same spot that you inflicted before, and it just splits the crab in half. It's that precise of a shot. There wasn't much holding it.
This crab. You're just dwelling in your thing. You ward off some invaders, and then all of a sudden you just get split by.
You just suddenly you get cake. You get baked in butter and put over a spit. But yeah, this last that giant crab just dies, never to be seen again. Alrighty, next you see these crabs. The other 3 crabs begin to move forward. 10, 15. Yeah. Okay. So this crab here is going to take a shot at Viet. Try to. 17 does not hit.
It does hit because he's AC 17.
Okay, so he hits you for does 4 bludgeoning damage, and the claws that he hit you with actually lock onto you, so you are now grappled.
Okay.
So, well, one of them, I should say, one of them's like clamped onto you. So the other two are gonna, like this one here, is gonna go for Elryn. Does a 17 hit?
Yes, it does.
Alright, so does 4 bludgeoning damage to you, and you are now grappled.
Oh, great.
Then the last crab is going to do the same thing. Does a 14 hit?
Yes.
So you take another 4 bludgeoning damage, and that one grappled you. So now you are currently being grappled by 2 separate crabs. Let's see. I don't know how you mark this as grappled. I'll just put a little blue dot to represent the fact that they got you grappled. So each crab has now got a person grappled. Sharkbite.
I'm just seeing all these crabs just
Yeah.
cuddle out of the water after everybody, just running away.
Yeah, they're doing the crab walk out of the ocean.
There's not really much I can do from that far away. There's like almost nothing I can do.
Pretty much. You can run to it. You can peg leg over to them.
Yeah, I don't do running. I do slow waddles. Yeah. There really isn't much. I'll just start walking over
Okay.
from around the ways with my stick as a support.
Yep. So far you haven't hit anything.
That's it.
Okay. So back up to the top. Percy is now witnessing the fact that Viet's in trouble, kind of runs forward, raises his battle axe. If I can get this character sheet open. One-handed battle axe and takes a strike. Oh, and completely and totally misses. Elryn, you are now grappled by 2 crabs.
Yes.
It's just another Sunday.
Yeah. How big are these crabs?
They're giant crabs. They're bigger than your average crab. I would say they're about the size of a dog.
Alright, can I attempt to shake them off?
You can try and break the grapple of one of them, but not 2 of them, because they're 2 separate entities. Let's see. You can still attack, though, but you just can't move.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll try just to shake it off and I don't know if it can go.
Yeah, make a athletics.
Okay.
Alright, so you're able to kind of maneuver in a way that the crab, while it did have you grappled, it wasn't like a real strong grip, and you were able to kind of maneuver your body and break the grapple. This one here is no longer grappled. You still got the other one holding on to you, but this one is not grappled.
Is it holding on to my arm, or what is it holding on to?
This one here, it's holding on to, I would say it's...
I'm sinking.
Yeah. I would say it's like holding more onto your... What kind of armor are you wearing?
No
If
armor.
any. No armor. So yeah, I would say it's just holding on to like your arm.
Okay. Can I like stick my arm in some quicksand?
Yeah. You can do that if you wish.
And just I don't know. My logic is to let it sink with the sand.
So you stick your arm that is currently got grappled into so you're now both legs are in the sand. Your arm is now in sand. Yeah, that is very awkward.
I hope you realized you're attached to your arm.
Yeah, I know.
You can cut it off if you wish.
Yeah.
So
It's
yeah.
fine. Cool.
Alrighty. Yeah. You are currently grappled by this crab. You can still attack. You just can't move, but you can break the grapple by making an athletics. There, Ash?
I am, yeah, sorry, I thought you were talking to Tash's character. Viet is going to okay. Viet's going to break the grapple.
Cool,
Or
give me an
attempt to break the
athletics.
grapple.
Athletics roll, yeah. Alright, so it's not really an effort. You're able to just pull back from the actual crab and its grapple just slips off you.
Yep, and that is it for Viet.
Yeah. Alright, so next is Red Sand. Now, because Red Sand's right next to this crab, she puts away longbow, pulls out the rapier. Yep. It's a fun style. Archery. Rapier. Oh, definitely hits and does 9 damage. Actually, hang on. Yep, there we go. I got to learn in future not to assign health point stats to these NPCs because if I remove it on one token, it does it for all of them. Alright, so he's able. So Red Sand's able to, because it was so focused on holding on to Viet, it wasn't really paying too much attention to anything else, and this actually gave Red Sand an opening, and she just reaches in with the rapier and stabs right in the fleshy part underneath the actual hard shell of the crab, and kind of stabs right between its claw and its like legs. So it's like, I guess, abdomen, if you want to call it. Yeah. And after that, just pulls it out and just braces herself for any potential retaliation. So the giant crab turns and actually responds to that and makes an attack on Red Sand. What's Red Sand's AC? Come on. Ooh, just hits. So Red Sand cops 4 bludgeoning damage and is grappled. There we go. And then the other 2 are going to make an attack on Elryn. So first one hits on a 22, and then the second one does 14 hit.
Yeah.
Okay, so in total you take 8 bludgeoning damage, and the crab that previously you broke the grapple from has now grappled you again.
Okay, I'm down.
You are now down and out.
Yep.
Okay, so now because you are now passed out, you go pretty much right into the sand. Now you're pretty much about to see. You're about to slot. You're now basically almost laying face down in like not face down, but yeah, you're sinking closer into the sand.
Nice.
I went for you first because you're like a fish.
You're a fish. Sharkbite.
I walk 3 squares.
You walk 3 squares, so you're about there. Okay, so Percy. Crap. Percy gonna make a battle axe attack on crab, I guess. Battle axe. Ooh, hits on an 18. Nice. Does 8 slashing damage. And just splits it into triumphantly. Oh no. Percy's alive. The other guy.
Splits herself.
Yeah. There we go. And with that, the grapple on Viet is now broken.
All right, cool.
Yeah. So no. Crap. Elryn, you are slowly sinking into the sand now that you've passed out. Your body is now. You are now up to just below you, just around your chest mark, because you've actually collapsed.
Okay.
But you're currently not submerged. Like, yeah, your head's not submerged yet, but yeah, you're going to get there soon. I'll still need you to make a death save. So you're doing all right, sort of.
I want the 20 where you come back and just fling the crabs
Yeah. Funny enough, though, because you've actually slumped down, they've still got the grip onto you, so they are, in a sense, holding you up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they haven't actually let go because they're not really aware that you're actually out cold. They just got you clamped. Yeah.
Okay.
But if they feel that they're getting pulled in, they most likely may let go. So who knows? Ash.
Yes. All right.
So the crab's just been taken out in front of you, split in two by Percy and his battle axe.
Yep.
You see beyond that, you see the other two crabs holding on to this, what appears to be unconscious Elryn, who is is sinking deeper and deeper into this quicksand. You can see from your ankle that she is at chest height, and you believe, even though you can tell that she most likely will be under in the next few seconds.
All right.
The danger is real.
So Viet will, because we still haven't determined which ones of these are the ones that aren't marked. We can't really tell whether they're quicksand or not, can we?
No, the only ones that you know for certain is the ones that are done square. So, yeah.
All right. Well, YOLO. So Viet is going to try and make his way to engage the crabs.
Yep.
I'll just move in. If I cross over any squares, just tell me to do a dex.
Sure.
Put him there.
I will get. Let's see. Oops, hang on. No, not that. Alright, so you make your way closer to the actual the crabs. You do almost step in quicksand, but you manage to. You can tell that you can see the line that separates quicksand from solid ground, because the right half of your body is on solid ground, whereas your left side, when you take a step, it does actually sink in. So you manage to pull yourself out by the time you get to the closest crab.
Okay.
So I'll just mark that off just for ease. Bear with me. You just keep going with what your plan is while I just mark this off. There you go.
It might end up It might end up killing her outright, but I think it's worth a shot to get her out of the quicksand. While the two crabs are still focused on Elryn,
Yep.
I was thinking Viet could once again get the pike out and use the blunt end of it and try and get it under one of Elryn's arms in the sand because she's still chest high and sort of fling her out of the quicksand.
Just be wary too that these crabs have got her grappled. They're holding on to her. So
would that still be so if Viet will see that would still be her being classed as moving, and because she's got zero movement because she's grappled. Yes.
Well, yes and no, because you got to realize that if she is currently being sucked under by this quicksand. So, and she's been held on to by these two crabs. So, in order for you to actually do that, you'll need to roll a particularly high athletics.
YOLO, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna go with it.
All right.
I'm gonna try and luck it.
Go for it. So you manage to get the blunt end of your pike. You reach under the one arm that's still possible to hook under. Make an athletics check.
Oh dear.
In the process of doing that, you accidentally drop your pike and it lands in this quicksand. And you can see it slowly sinking into the quicksand.
No, not my pike.
Yeah, so your pike is... that red line is your pike.
Okay, cool. Great. How many would I be able to tell how until my pike sinks into the quicksand?
You reckon it'll be gone in a few seconds.
Oh, jeez.
Because it's sinking, the heavier part of the pike is sinking first, the actual metal half that's got the blade on it.
Yeah, I couldn't use a reaction to attempt to grab it, could I?
No. Unfortunately not.
Alright, well, that is Viet's turn done.
Alright. After that, Red Sand kind of comes around here because following in the path of Viet. 10, 5, no. It's about there.
Need to snip off the snippers.
Yeah, so then Red Sand goes and takes a swing at the Krabby Crab. Cool. Which is enough to injure it. Just make sure that's got no HP on it. Cool, it doesn't. So Red Sand's able to kind of stab and pull out, hits a fleshy part, a bit of blood sprays out. Then it is the giant crab's turn. So this one here is going to let go of Elryn and turn and face Red Sand and try and take a strike at him. Or her, sorry. But misses. The wound that was just inflicted on her causes it to have a hard time actually clamping onto the snapping at the Red Sand. Then the other one does the same thing. Lets go of Elryn and then takes a snap at Red Sand. And again, misses completely. Sharkbite.
Well, this is rather concerning. I only think of one thing I can realistically do here. Jones will keep on hobbling forward But he'll also call Salty over. He'll say, "Come here, bird. You have an assignment to do." And then the parrot will fly over, glide down from the spire, and he'll hold out one of the healing potions that we gathered for the bird to take. And once it takes that, then he'll instruct it to fly off in Elryn's direction.
Sure.
Which
is just
Percy.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah, sweet.
Just a bit of a drive-by.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, at this point, Percy's then sees the bird flying over with the potion. So, is Salty going to give it to Percy, or is Salty going to continue on?
Well, I feel like he would just fly as fast as he could towards Elryn. So if Percy can catch the potion on the way, then...
Well, that's the thing. Percy doesn't actually know what it is the bird's carrying. He just sees this bird flying over with this vial.
Jones would have yelled something to the parrot to give an idea of what to do. He'd be like, "Take the salve to the merfolk."
So yeah, I will say in this instance, Percy doesn't pick up on that, and begins running towards the crabs to help. So seeing Viet almost get stuck before takes a wide berth. What's a halfling's movement?
25.
25. Oopsies. So it gets right there, and then takes a swing at this crab. Yeah. Oh, I think that just hits it. Yeah. And come on, damage. And then as he moves closer to the crab, he just rakes his ballax right across I guess its eyes, the face of it, and just cleaves a huge gash right across it, and it's deep enough to just slice, I guess, its brain. And it just drops dead, and you see its legs kind of begin to curl up, and they kind of kick out a little bit as it's in its death throes. Cool. All right, so that's it for Percy. Elryn, you are in a real bad predicament. You are now almost completely submerged. All that's sticking out is your head, and even that is slowly under. A part of your face is already under. Your mouth and nose is still above the actual quicksand, but you're slowly sinking. Next turn you'll be gone if someone doesn't grab you.
Okay.
Do a death save anyway. Because even though you're dying.
Just because.
Alright, so you're even though you're currently almost submerged in quicksand, you're sort of doing alright in terms of the wounds that you received aren't at this stage proving to be as fatal as what they could be. Viet. For Ash.
Yeah. So Viet will move down into there. Oh no, that's quicksand. He's not going to do that. Okay. So Viet's still got his spear, but I don't think the spears have reach. Well, what he'll do is Viet will move into this thing and step over the dead crab, and he will attempt to. Oh yeah, you can do that. Sorry, yeah. Viet will attempt to reach down and pull Elryn out of the quicksand.
Sure, I'll
Just
just
with
move
his
that
bare
out of the
hand.
way.
Just with his bare hands this time.
All right, cool. So he reaches down and grabs her. Make an athletics.
That's better.
Yeah, you managed to pull her head further out of the quicksand, but she's in pretty deep and it's really difficult. So you only pull her head out and just the top half of her, like her collarbone and all that. Because she is
that's
real.
fine.
And plus, you're also having to deal with a giant crab that's like literally right next to you.
Yeah. That'd be a little
So yeah, it proves a bit difficult at this stage. You don't have much in terms of a real proper grasp of her at the moment.
Oh, at least she can breathe.
Well, yeah, that's it. And as you've run to get Viet, you look over and you see the top end of your pike just disappear under this quicksand.
That's all right. In Viet's mind, a pike, even though he loved that pike, it could be replaced.
That is very true.
Human life can't be replaced. So
very true, very true. Red Sand goes up to the crab, last remaining crab, and takes a swing at it with her rapier, or jab at it with a rapier. That hits it, like with the precise motion, just stabs through one of its eyes, and it kind of gives out, I guess, a crab definition of a cry out in pain. I don't even know what that is, so I'll let you guys use your imagination. Little bubbles, foamy bubbles, start coming out of its mouth as it kind of reacts in pain, and then just braces herself for potential retaliation. The giant crab turns and does it go for the one that's right next to it or the one that just attacked it? I'll say it reacts to, it perceives Red Sand as the bigger threat because it was the one that attacked. She was the one that attacked it. Oh, a natural 20 on the attack. So that is 8 bludgeoning damage, and she is grappled.
Just got a new piercing.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll just make sure that I'm not missing anything here. So action search. Feel and agility. No, she hasn't got anything that can reduce that. So yeah, so she was not totally completely expecting that to happen, and it kind of catches Red Sand off guard, and it kind of snips at her and gets it deep into her abdomen and just locks its claw in the wound that it just inflicted on her. Oh, wrong one. Oh, this one. That's the one. So now Red Sand is currently grappled by this last remaining crab. Sharkbite.
Oh, don't you worry, I'll get there in 4 turns.
How fast can he move?
15 feet.
Is that all because of his peg legs?
Yeah. If
Okay.
I want to dash, I can, but I automatically fall over at the end, so it's not worth it.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
It's basically like me taking a dive.
We can't have that.
I think it depends on how we're ruling diagonals.
Yeah, that's, let's say, 5, 10. Yeah, that's right. That's fine. All right, Percy.
Oh, hang on. But the bird.
The bird. The bird is a bird. The bird.
The bird will fly over and just perch on Elryn's unconscious head.
Yeah.
And
Her shoulders are kind of above the quicksand, so you can kind of perch on the shoulder. That's a little bit more weight to the situation. Now Viet's got a bird.
Well, the bird
as well.
isn't that conscious of that, and I mean
No.
the hair is probably easier to grab onto. Fortunately, she's not conscious, so she doesn't feel it pulling on her hair. But
Yeah.
he'll perch on the on her head with one of his little talons just holding on to the hair, and the other one clutching the Ashubid tied string around the potion or cork or something, and he'll be like, "All right, drink up, me hearties."
Okay. Sure. Now the big question is, will anyone pick up on that? All right. So Percy, seeing what's going on, runs around Red Sand to the crab, takes about his battle axe, already blood soaked from previous kills, takes a swing. Oh, far out.
Nice.
The crit fest.
And just like in a fury of anger and desperation, trying to get to his comrade who's at death's door, just rings down the battle axe and just cleaves it dead center in its shell. It cracks and splinters as the blade just goes deeper and deeper before hitting flesh, and then it's just spray of blood, and then the crab just drops dead. And its grip on Elryn, on Red Sand, is now no longer. And it dies. Elryn, you're currently unconscious, but your comrades have come to keep you afloat, so to speak. But you're not out of the woods yet. I still need you to make a death saving throw. Don't roll a 1. Hey, so you managed the wounds that you received are non-fatal, but you still remain unconscious. Roll a d4. So it looks like you may be out for a while. Okay. So Viet, as you're holding on to Elryn, preventing her from sinking, you see to your right, you see Red Sand attack the crab, it attack her, and then you see Percy come in and just kill it with a death blow. While also at the same time, you see this mangy bird come out of nowhere, grab onto Elryn's hair with one talon, and then in the other, it's got like this vial in its other claw, and he just says, "Right, drink up, hearties."
Would you know what that insinuates? Yeah, there, Ash.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Christy was just talking to me about something.
That's right.
Okay, cool. I will once again try and use Viet will once again try to pull Elryn out of the quicksand.
Sure. So I need you to make a athletics. All right. So you pull really hard, and at this point, now that the crab's dead, you actually can get a better purchase on Elryn, and you reach in with your other arm, grab her under both arms, and just yank her out, and you manage to pull her out of the actual quicksand. She's completely caked in wet sand, but she is now out of immediate danger.
Cool, that's good. Viet then sighs and plops it down on the ground and wipes the sweat from his brow.
Cool. So, was there anything else you wish to do yet?
No, there's no point in trying to recover the pipe because it's long gone.
Yeah, that is gone now. That is.
Yeah. So then there's.
No.
That'd be too risky. It'd be too risky for him.
Wasn't so much that. It's like by the time you go actually turn it would have kept sinking. But that's all right. But unfortunately, yes, your pike is now gone. It is now.
That's all right.
Sunk below the quicksand.
Well, then that's all Viet will do. That's,
right.
He said his action and everything.
Cool. So, Red Sand sees this all happen, sees you pull the unconscious Elryn out,
She also happened to catch what Salty said, and she jerries that, he's carrying something that will help her. So he puts away the sword, goes over to the bird, kind of grabs the bottle out of Salty's hand. Would Salty be willing to give up this bottle?
Yeah, well, that's what I would have told
you. So she grabs the bottle from Salty, who gladly lets go of Elryn, and flies around. Moves around to her side, opens the cork of the bottle, and begins pouring the concoction into her mouth. And it's just a potion of healing, yeah?
Well, isn't that what we got?
Yeah, we got that. Oh, yeah, true. Yes, so she got a potion of healing.
I'm assuming I just collected everything and put it in one of my satchels under my coat.
Yeah, because we didn't actually discuss how it was going to be stored, so I might have missed that, but that's all right. But yeah, you got a potion.
Nobody said anything, so I just assumed I was carrying it.
You actually got 3, now you've used 1, so you've got 2 left.
Oh. Maybe put a list down and I'll add it all into my inventory.
Yeah, that's fine. Let me just find them. Where is it? There it is. So, Elryn, roll 2d4 and then add 2 to that.
Now I have a purpose, at least. I can be the healer.
So you got 7 HP back. Because you got a total of 5, and then you add another 2 to that. So, Red Sand pours this liquid into your mouth, and it kind of just runs down your throat, and you begin to come to life, and you feel this liquid down your throat, and it's like a bit of a surprise. You just cough a bit, you cough up a little bit, but then you kind of wake up and you realize that you're alive, and you do feel some of the wounds that you received kind of fade away. Not completely, I don't think. Does it completely heal you? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Because you got 7 HP back, so no.
Yeah.
So, but you're still pretty hurt, but you're awake and you're alive, and completely covered in sand, wet sand.
Been a rough few days.
Yeah.
Kind of feels like deja vu at this point.
No. So at this point, after a minute has passed, Sharkbite has eventually made his way over.
Well, that's what I was wondering, because I don't actually know if I know the clear path.
Well, I'll tell you what. You move, and I'll tell you.
I think it was kind of like this. That's the angle I'll take. I've moved to this square and kind of walked like that.
Yep. Cool.
Although I'll be hesitant. Do I avoid anything?
You've avoided so far.
We've got all the tracks in the sand here, so I should be able to...
So you see that... hang on, I'll mark out a line so you kind of got an idea of where everyone else is. So from where you are currently, you see that they've gone around like that.
All right. Well, making sure not to step in the water at all, I'll waddle around and take a look at the situation. Obviously, Elryn awake now, so slightly less stressed.
Yeah. You can see that she's moving and that she's awake and all that. She's been through a lot.
I'll say, welcome back to the land of the living, merfolk. And then I'll reach into my coat and just check that I still have it. I'll pull out the vial that I tucked away of the alcohol that we got. and hand it out to her.
Alright, cool. So at this stage, Elryn, awake, sore, but awake, looks up and hears Sharkbite and sees him reach out another vial for her to take. So, yeah. So again, if you drink it, 2d4 plus 2.
Okay.
Wait,
So
no,
I know
this isn't a
is
healing potion. This
What is it?
The alcohol.
Oh,
I opened one and carried
Yes.
it around with me and then stored another.
Right, okay. So he reaches out to you with the
This
alcoholic...
one was for me, but you need it more.
Yeah, he offers you a drink of no magical power other than to help you forget things if you drink enough of it.
Say, you may have luck, but at least you have rum.
So do you take him up on his offer of a drink?
Yeah.
Okay. So you take it, you grab the bottle and you take it, quick swig of it. Make a con save.
Cool.
Just die again.
Well.
Okay. So you're still suffering from the effects of the injuries and all that, and the potency and strength of the alcohol is a bit too much for you, and you just pass out.
Cool.
You are out for an
Time
hour.
to charm.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're not in any danger. It's very strong liquor, and you're still not used to it. And that combined with the injuries you have actually suffered, it's very quick, and you just pass out. So you're now currently unconscious for an hour.
Cool.
So.
I make sure to grab the bottle before she falls over and it spills.
Yeah, yeah. Despite having wooden legs and being slow, yet you're quick when it comes to rum. You cannot spill a drop of this.
You may waste a drop. This be the sailor's gold.
Right. So yeah. Okay. I think that is a good spot to leave it for the night. Hey.
So do I.
So you managed to. Yeah. So during that event, Elryn was actually able to bring one crate back to shore. It's the one that Sharkbite's next to this one here. So you haven't.
I heard about that.
Yeah, that was the whole that's actually what you're doing when the crabs attack.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's still 2 more in the actual water, but that can be something you might work out next time. All right. Well, quite an interesting way to end the session. If Elryn, you seem to get into a lot of issues.
Yes.
That's all for fun.
It's
I
like
blame the
you're a
human.
fish out of water.
Yeah.
But all right. Okay. Well, thank you all for playing.
Thank you for DMing.
Yeah.
No
thanks,
worries.
Chris.
And yes, I will catch you in the next session.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh, I should probably write a reminder to figure out what the actual stuff was for next time.
Oh yeah, I will do it now. Yeah, actually,
All I remember was the healing potions and the wand.
yeah. So let me just type this down. Oops. Oh, far out. Can't type. Save me life. 2 ones. 2 spell scrolls. And 50. So that. So what I'm about to send you. That there in the chat is what you found over at the chapel.
Excellent.
Um,
I've
Oh,
made
oops.
note that
Yeah.
Literally, none of us can cast this spell.
Oh well, you might find someone. You could also, if you survive this, might sell it.
Yeah, it's also treasure.
Yeah, it is loot. It is a treasure to someone.
Although I need to minus one of those healing potions.
Oh yeah, so make that 2 healing potions. Okay, well, thank you all, and I look forward to catching up with you in the next session.
Yeah, for sure.
There's
Alright.
plenty more to investigate. So thank you all, and I wish you all a good night.
Yeah,
Alright,
see you all later.
everyone.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.